Evolution of Chip and Dale. Private Pluto, 1943. Private Pluto has been assigned to guard a pillbox from saboteurs. But Chip and Dale are the saboteurs who occupy it, while using the cannon to crack acorns on Pluto's head. In the end, the chipmunks fire Pluto out of the cannon and crack the remaining acorns, leaving him to whine. Squatters' Rights, 1946. In a house, Chip and Dale inhabit a stove when Mickey and Pluto return and get in their way. Determined to keep their home, Chip and Dale get Pluto in trouble with Mickey. The chipmunks manage to drive the two out after they make Pluto seem like he was shot badly. Chip and Dale, 1947. Being cold and lacking wood, Donald heads off to chop down a tree which happens to be inhabited by Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale try to get him out of luck by stealing his firewood, causing Donald to kick them out. In the end, they roll a giant snowball on him. Fun and Fancy-Free, 1947. Chip and Dale briefly appear, laughing at Bongo the Bear's failed attempt to climb a tree. Their dialogue is mainly done via a toy squeaker, though some of their lines are their usual sped-up gibbering. 3 for Breakfast, 1948. When Chip and Dale catch sight of Donald's pancakes, they decide to steal them from Donald. Donald protects his breakfast by tricking them with a rubber cement pancake. Soon, Chip and Dale get Donald into a long stretch, with the rubber pancake jamming him in the chimney. Melody Time, 1948. Chip briefly appears in the segment where he's seen on Johnny's shoulder, and then later trying to eat some cookies. Winter Storage, 1949. Chip and Dale try to store acorns for the coming winter, but run out on their tree. The chipmunks swipe Donald's acorns he is using for a seeding project, getting trapped in Donald's box trap, and then get into a squabble. Chip and Dale challenge Donald in a game of hockey with the acorns, and overwhelm him with a huge pile of acorns. All in a Nutshell, 1949. Donald has run out of nuts for his nut butter sales, and gets some out of Chip and Dale's tree. The chipmunks think Donald's stall is a giant walnut. Dale injures Chip in his clumsy attempts, but the two break into Donald's store and find the nut butter tasting good. They swipe Donald's jars and after a chase dispose of Donald, they shoot him into the lake. Toy Tinkers, 1949. Donald chops down a pine tree to set as his Christmas tree. Chip and Dale follow him to his house and steal Donald's nut supply with the use of his toys. Donald sets to protect it all, tricking them with a Father Christmas guy's trap, drawing a pistol at them. Donald and the chipmunks engage in a toy gun war until Donald gets blown with a firework. Crazy Over Daisy, 1950. Chip and Dale antagonize Donald Duck as he attempts to deliver a present to Daisy, even managing to destroy his penny farthing. Donald forces the chipmunks to transport him and Daisy, who, outraged with the way Donald treated the chipmunks, dumps him. Trailer Horn, 1950. Chip and Dale follow a trail of footprints to Donald's campsite and honk the car's horn to cause trouble and wake Donald up. The chipmunks then harass Donald by preventing him from trying to swim. The chipmunks pelt Donald with pine cones. Donald tries to get at them with his car, but totals it. Food for Feudin, 1950. Chip and Dale gather hazelnuts, but Pluto buries a bone in the tree and loses all the nuts in his doghouse. Chip and Dale camouflage themselves in gardening gloves and lure Pluto to their tree, retrieving their nuts. The chipmunks and Pluto play a plan pile game, getting their fingers tied. Out on a Limb, 1950. Donald works as a tree surgeon, and he notices Chip and Dale storing nuts and prunes on their branch. Donald tails the chipmunks with a branch cutter, but they knock Donald with a stone. Donald chases the chipmunks, getting their crowns shaved with a lawnmower, but runs into an electric line. Chicken in the Rough, 1951. Chip and Dale drop their acorns on a chicken farm and go in after them. In the henhouse, Dale mistakes the eggs for walnuts. He meets a hatched chick and is forced to impersonate a chick to hide from the cockerel, his cover almost blown, and his body stuck in the nest. Corn Chips, 1951. Donald clears the snow from his yard, and Chip and Dale clear theirs into his yard, angering him. The chipmunks then enter Donald's house to get hold of some of his popcorn, but get mixed in with it when Donald comes back. Chip and Dale swipe Donald's popcorn, and he tries to get it back. After a chase, Donald lights a fire in the tree, and the chipmunks fill Donald's yard with popcorn. Test Pilot Donald, 1951. Donald tries out his control line model airplane, finding it works fine. When it gets caught in a tree, Dale hitches a ride in it to Chip's disapproval. When Dale crash lands, Donald traps him in a jar, but he escapes and drives the plane again. Donald tries to catch Dale with a fishing rod, but Dale traps him with the plane on a building spire. Out of Scale, 1951. Donald is having fun with his small train set, but removes Chip and Dale's tree after declaring it out of scale. As the Chipmunks try to get their tree back, Donald chases them. The Chipmunks make themselves comfy in a miniature house. Donald finds their scale fits with the house and torments them with weather changes. Chip and Dale retrieve their tree and make it fit to scale as a giant redwood tree. This episode is unique because it is a take on Walt Disney's Backyard Railroad, the Carolwood Pacific. The engine is modeled after the Leal Bell, his live steam engine, and Canyonville was one of the towns the Carolwood Pacific Railroad serviced in Walt's backyard. Donald Applecore, 1952. Donald is annoyed that Chip and Dale are replacing his apples with eaten cores, and Dale tricks him into disposing of them. They resist Donald's insect powder, and Donald takes back the apples with his helicopter. The Chipmunks empty the apple silo, and Donald goes after them with chemical bombs, but gets blown underground to China. Two Chips and a Miss, 1952. In New York, Chip goes for his secret date with Clarice. Dale himself has also been invited to meet Clarice. When they cross each other at the Acorn Club, they bicker and fight for Clarice's love and affection. They stop to watch her act. The Chipmunks compete for Clarice with their music, both receiving a kiss, and all three sing together. Pluto's Christmas Tree, 1952. Chip and Dale tease Pluto and hide in a pine tree which Mickey is chopping down for Christmas. In Mickey's house, Chip and Dale are fascinated by the sparkling balls. They try to get the candy canes, but Pluto spots them. After Chip and Dale have a long and mischievous tackle with Pluto, the tree gets destroyed, but Mickey is delighted to have the Chipmunks. Donald, Goofy, and Minnie come to greet Mickey with carols. Working for Peanuts, 1953. Chip and Dale come across a peanut and check out the zoo, which hosts Dolores the elephant and all those peanuts. Dolores, however, prevents the Chipmunks from getting any. As Dolores' handler, Donald chases them after they thwack Dolores. Chip and Dale attract some people to get some peanuts, then cover themselves in whitewash and trick Donald into thinking they are albino chipmunks. The Lone Chipmunks, 1954. Black Pete is wanted for terrorizing and robbing towns. Chip and Dale find Pete has been stashing stolen money in their tree and take the opportunity for the reward. They fail to get Pete twice, and he finds them and shoots at them. Chip and Dale put up a tricking fight with Pete and get him captured by the cavalry. Chip and Dale ride off to town known as the Lone Chipmunks. Dragon Around, 1954. Dale is fascinated by medieval fantasy and drags Chip into it when they spot a dragon, which is actually Donald's refuse tractor. Donald is intent on building a freeway through their tree. Chip as a knight and Dale as his steed get swallowed by the tractor grabber, but they escape and disable its teeth. Before Donald can smash the tree, the Chipmunks sabotage the tractor. Donald tries to blow them up with dynamite, but they blast him in the sky instead. Up a Tree, 1955. Donald is a lumberjack intending to saw a tall tree, which happened to be inhabited by Chip and Dale. Chip causes Donald to fall 3 times before he cuts off the top and finds out about the two. Donald cuts down the tree and the Chipmunks fail to keep it standing. Chip and Dale get Donald in a run from the log tree until it is catapulted with dynamite along with Donald's house. Chips Ahoy, 1956. Chip and Dale spot an island with abundant acorns but have no way to get to it. They steal Donald's ship in a bottle to get there, with Chip as captain and Dale as a sailor. Donald tries many ways to stop them and get his boat back, until he ends up stuck there, and the Chipmunks are accidentally pushed back home. While the Chipmunks enjoy their acorns, Donald tries to build a dugout canoe. Mickey's Christmas Carol, 1983. Chip and Dale can be spotted in this featurette, where they are seen dancing to the music inside Fezziwigs. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, 1989. In 1989, Chip and Dale as the title characters in the series, in which they formed a detective agency with new characters created for the show. Female mouse inventor Gadget Hackwrench, muscular adventuring Australian mouse Monterey Jack, and Zipper the Fly. While in the original shorts, the duo is frequent troublemakers who are concerned only with themselves. In Rescue Rangers, they are crime fighters who help the less fortunate. In this series, the personality differences between the two are more pronounced, with Chip as the serious, heroic leader and Dale as the quick-witted, hard-partying, reluctant hero. Additionally, they wear clothes in this series which reflect their personalities. Chip wears a leather jacket and fedora, much like Indiana Jones, while Dale wears a Hawaiian shirt, much like Magnum P.I. Darkwing Duck, 1991. Chip and Dale both briefly appear on the screen when Herb Muddlefoot turns on the TV in the episode Negaduck. Quack Pack, 1996. Dale makes a brief cameo appearance in the episode Hit the Road Backwater Jack, when a man is trying to empty things in his pockets. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, 1999. Chip and Dale appear briefly several times throughout the story. In the beginning, they are seen opening their presents. They appear again when they are hit with a snowball by Huey Duck, who then gets hit back by Chip. Their next appearance occurs near the end when an object is thrown into their home, and it turns out to be a bag of nuts wrapped as presents from Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Mickey Mouse Works, 1999. In this show, one of their most notable appearances, Chip and Dale, is in the episode Mickey's Mixed Nuts, where the Chipmunks battle Mickey Mouse for the last bag of nuts at a supermarket. Mickey's Magical Christmas, snowed in at the House of Mouse, 2001. Chip and Dale appear briefly as the cameo characters. House of Mouse, 2001. Chip and Dale appear as recurring roles in this show, primarily as guests at the club. Both chipmunks are seen shaking hands with Donald in the show's intro. Their most prominent appearance in the episode, Chip and Dale, were centered around the chipmunks as they spend their evenings stealing bags of nuts from the guests while evading Donald. At the end of the episode, an advertisement is shown in which they seem to have their own storage organization, where they store everything you don't need. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, 2006. Chip and Dale appear as recurring characters. They are some of Mickey's friends. Unusually, the two don't seem to have a rivalry with Donald and Pluto. Most of the Chipmunks' roles in the series are minor, with the exception of the episode Goofy's Coconutty Monkey, where they are the culprits behind the mysterious disappearance of the jungle's coconuts. In the end, they return their stash, thinking they were giant nuts. Saving Mr. Banks, 2013. A plush of Dale appears in the Disney-themed room. Mickey Mouse, 2014. Chip and Dale first appear in the episode Space Walkies, where, during a voyage in outer space, Mickey and Pluto step out of their spacecraft to allow Pluto a chance to relieve himself. After which, Mickey tries to rush Pluto back to the ship by using a miniature spacecraft resembling a frisbee disc. The disc, it turns out, is a craft owned by an annoyed Chip and Dale, who berate Mickey until Pluto instinctually attacks the chipmunks, leading to a chase through space. On the rings of a planet, however, Chip and Dale are able to elude Mickey and Pluto, giggling at their success and their adversaries' misfortune. Chip and Dale's Nutty Tales, 2017. The plot revolves around Chip and Dale venturing and helping their friends in Hot Dog Hills. They interact with various characters from Mickey Mouse Mixed Up Adventures. Mickey and the Roadster Racers, 2018. Chip and Dale appear voiced by Tress MacNeille and Corey Burton respectively. They are mechanics for the racer. DuckTales, 2020. Chip and Dale, based on their Rescue Rangers iterations, making their debut in the Season 3 episode, Double O Duck in You Only Crash Twice. Chip and Dale are depicted as ordinary chipmunks used as lab rats for an intelligence ray developed by the organization Fowl. After becoming much smarter and anthropomorphic, they teamed up with two mice and a fly to escape their confines, as well as help Launchpad McQuack defeat one of FOWL's agents. Chip and Dale Park Life, 2021. The French-American animated series was released on Disney+, which was co-produced by the Walt Disney Company France and Xylem Animation. Chip and Dale are respectively voiced by Matthew Jetchie and Casey Chase. Mickey Mouse Funhouse, 2021. Chip appears voiced by Tress MacNeille in Season 1, Jan Johns in Season 2, and Dale, voiced by Corey Burton. They are shown to have different alter egos on different adventure worlds. In the land of myth and legend, they are pizzeria owners Cheesy Chip and Pepperoni Dale. In Sportstopia, they are athletes. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, 2022. Chip and Dale appear in the hybrid live-action and computer-animated movie, where fictional characters in cartoons, movies, and other media live alongside humans. Their voices are performed by John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. It centers on Chip and Dale, 30 years since the cancellation of their show due to a falling out, coming back to reconcile their differences while they investigate the kidnapping of their friend and co-star Monterey Jack. The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, 2022. Chip and Dale appear in the second special episode, The Wonderful Spring of Mickey Mouse. In Goofy's yard, Chip and Dale suffer the same allergies he does, and he decides to help them out, breaking his clothespin in two and putting it on their noses. In their hurry to leave, they kick up a fresh cloud of pollen, and Goofy has an epic sneeze that spreads pollen all over the neighborhood. Chibi Tiny Tales, 2023. Chip and Dale make a brief appearance with favorite Disney Channel stars, as they bake a birthday cake for the one and only Disney Channel.